guys, we're here on this rainy day talking about in-laws and wedding planning. It's gonna be a fun one.
All right, first question that we got. What do I do about seating arrangements if my husband's family, for the most part, doesn't really get along?
No seating chart. Is that an option?
No, that's a good.
I think that would be I think that would be ideal. Is just it's not your problem. So if you don't want to have to stress about it, then don't have a seating chart.
Yeah, and maybe for like the ceremony, have a little sign that says like you want mixed sides, like not one side of the family on each side. Pick a seat, not a side.
Yeah.
So then everybody can kind of sit wherever they want, and it's not forced or expected that they sit in front.
And I guess if you have to have a seating chart, say you're like, I have to have a plated meal, then I mean, you just have to keep that in mind of like who to put where. Like if there's, if you have step parents maybe, and that can be kind of tricky, I know. So just making sure that maybe you're considering, like you need to be considerate of where you're placing the tables as well as the people. So like you don't want to put like your stepmom and your dad on one side of the room really far away from you, and then your other parents right next to you, because that might hurt their feelings, but you could still put them on like opposite sides of your table. But I think no seating chart is probably the best way to go, because then they can just mingle with the people they like.
Okay, so how do I not stress about the fact that me and some of my husband's family members don't really get along? And how do I make sure that, do they have to be included in the day's activities? Like while I'm getting ready, does, if someone I don't like, if I don't get along with, how do I include them in the day's activities if we don't really get along?
I kind of went off of like as far as I went out on my side, I would go on his side. So like if there was someone on his side or someone on my side that like I necessarily didn't want there, then I would just kind of like bring the circle in a little bit. So just like kind of make each side even, so that like one aunt isn't upset that you invited all the aunts from over there. Like maybe just not do aunts. Like, that's the best thing I could think of.
And I think while you're getting ready, like you need to have there whoever is going to make you the most excited for your wedding day. So if you have a bridal party, obviously them, and then like mom or grandma. But even if your grandma really stresses you out, then she can get ready somewhere else. I mean, I don't think it has to be a rude thing. It's just you can let them know like, hey, this is where you're getting ready. Especially if you're providing hair and makeup for all those people, then you can maybe set up a salon for your aunts and your grandma if they drive you crazy, and that's like an unspoken nice way of being like, you're not getting ready in the same room as me. And then you're still maybe providing it, or at least just giving them that option. And they're not like on top of you, driving you insane.
All right, so what if my husband has 7 sisters, some of which I like and some of which I don't like as much? Do I have to include them in my wedding party?
I think your wedding party should be like your friends. I know some people do include maybe the other sides, but I feel like they should be like your friends. I don't know. I didn't have bridesmaids, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best thing out. Yeah, I think it's just like, I don't know. I just don't think I don't think you're expected to.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to know though. Like if you're only close to one sister and you're not close to the others.
Right.
But I don't know. Some people still would get hurt. I think maybe you might want to consider like maybe you are really close to his one sister but not the rest. Then it might not be worth it to have that girl in the wedding, even though you might love her and you want her to be special. It might not be a good idea if you know that's going to cause drama. I mean, I don't think it's worth it going into your marriage having all this family drama if you can avoid it.
Yeah, because my husband had a really close cousin, and they wanted her in like my side, but like I had never even met her before. But then like
she can be on his
I felt
side.
right, but then I also felt like it'd be awkward for her, like being in our like group and like not knowing anyone and like just being really uncomfortable. So I don't know. I feel like people just kind of know like.
And we've had people who, like, when they have that situation, we've had people have, like, a groomswoman or a bridesman. And so, like, if you were like, I have to have my sister in the wedding, but you're the bride, and you're like, I don't like your sister, she can be on your side.
Yeah,
Nicely.
you don't have to.
You can say that nicely.
Yeah, you can say that in a nice way. All right, last question. So, what if my husband has a huge family and some of them are great and the others are kind of troublemakers? How do I make sure that they keep it together for my wedding day without offending them?
It's all
I was gonna say that's what we did. That was ours.
Have a bartender know that some people are heavy drinkers and to cut people off if needed. I'm not sure.
And it doesn't.
People
I don't
gonna
think
do
it,
what they want to do. If they're gonna get wasted.
And I think it doesn't always
happen.
I think that, and if you have like a wedding planner, you can have like a list of names to like watch out for.
Yeah, you can have list of names too. Or we did like our rehearsal dinner, so we had like people that were in the wedding came from like a certain time, and then after it we invited like everybody, like all of our like close friends and family that weren't in the bridal party. We had alcohol there, and then we didn't have alcohol like on our wedding day, so people could like celebrate then, but just to have like everything in order because we have a crazy family on both sides. But mainly mine, so.
Or also, I think having just beer and wine might be a good option too, although some people will pound that really quickly. But I feel like as a good rule of thumb, like if people are drinking beer or wine, they're probably going to be drinking slower than if they're like drinking a vodka tonic, which is like, I don't know.
Yeah, or you could do like tickets too, like where everybody gets like a few tickets or like a few numbers or whatever, and you can only have that many drinks. I mean, some people could like cheat the system,
like
but
make
still.
sure your venue doesn't do like shots. I mean, most venues don't, but I don't even think your question was about drinking, but we turned it
Yeah,
into
it
that.
really wasn't, but I feel like that's kind of the most common situation.
I feel like
you
that
have.
leads to the
Goes
craziness.
hand in
Yeah,
hand.
with the alcohol. Understandably so. All right, well, thanks, guys. You answered all my questions, or the people's questions. Sounds good.
Sounds
All right,
good.
bye now.